The crystal wine glass slipped from Theodore Blackstone's fingers, its 500 Bordeaux threatening to shatter against Meridian Restaurant's marble floor. Detective Alejandro Alex Morales caught it mid-fall, his reflexes betraying 7 months of undercover training. "Keep your dirty immigrant hands off my wine!" Blackstone's voice exploded across Chicago's most exclusive dining room. 50 conversations died instantly. "Do you know what that costs? Probably more than your entire wetback family makes in a year." Alex stood frozen, feeling his grandfather's silver St. Michael pendant press against his chest beneath his server uniform. The inscription, Protégenos en la batalla, had guided 3 generations of Morales men through battle. Miguel had worn it crossing the border in 1962. Now his grandson wore it while infiltrating America's deadliest fentanyl operation. "I'm sorry, Mr. Blackstone," Alex said, forcing submission into his voice. "I was just preventing an accident." Blackstone laughed cruelly. "Accident? Nothing's an accident with your people. You're all running some hustle." He turned to his dinner companions, Judge Crawford and Congressman Nash, as if Alex were invisible. "This is why I only hire Mexicans for servant work. They're naturally submissive and lack intelligence for real decision-making." The pharmaceutical billionaire had no idea he was humiliating a federal agent. Alex's hidden recording device captured every racist word, evidence that would help destroy the empire responsible for thousands of American deaths. Tomorrow night's Dia de los Muertos celebration would be perfect for showing Blackstone what this Mexican-American could really do. Meridian Restaurant perched atop Chicago's Willis Tower like a glass cathedral where America's corrupt elite feasted while the city suffered below. For 7 months, Alex had served dinner to the architects of genocide, pharmaceutical executives who manufactured death in pill form, judges who dismissed overdose cases for campaign contributions, politicians who voted against addiction treatment while their constituents died in alleys. The irony wasn't lost on him. Through floor-to-ceiling windows, Alex could see Little Village spread out in the distance, his neighborhood, where his grandfather Miguel had built a small grocery store after fleeing Michoacan with nothing but faith. Where families now buried children killed by the very drugs being planned inside this glittering tower. Alex had grown up hearing Miguel's stories about crossing the desert, working cotton fields while being called wetback by supervisors, building an American dream one customer at a time. "La Familia fights with honor, not hatred," Miguel always said, polishing the St. Michael pendant that would someday pass to his grandson. Now that pendant lay hidden beneath Alex's uniform, a compass pointing toward justice. Miguel had worn it while building his new life. Alex's father Ricardo had worn it as a paramedic, racing through those same streets to save overdose victims. Now Alex wore it while hunting the men who created those victims. Operation Holy Grail, 7 months of deep cover infiltration targeting Blackstone Pharmaceuticals' secret fentanyl production. The company legally manufactured pain medications while secretly flooding American streets with enough fentanyl to kill entire cities. Alex had volunteered for the assignment because his working-class Latino appearance made him invisible to Blackstone's circle. 7 months of enduring border jokes and being called Jose regardless of correction. 7 months of watching wealthy diners casually discuss Mexican immigrants as the problem with America while ordering another bottle of wine. 7 months of code switching between the college-educated federal agent he was and the subservient server they expected. Each night, Alex polished his grandfather's pendant while studying Spanish prayers Miguel had taught him. During breaks, he stepped onto Meridian's balcony and watched ambulances race through streets below, knowing some carried victims of the drugs being planned inside. His abuela Rosa called daily, her voice warm with Michoacan Mountains accent, sharing neighborhood gossip and community pain. "Mijo," she'd whisper, "Mrs. Hernandez's grandson overdosed again. When will this poison stop killing our babies?" Her words became Alex's fuel. Every racist joke, every dismissive gesture, every moment of being treated like furniture, it all served the greater mission. Tonight felt different, electric with danger. Blackstone expected confirmation of his largest shipment yet, arriving tomorrow for his twisted Day of the Dead celebration. The same holiday Blackstone mocked would become his downfall. Alex touched his pendant through his shirt, feeling 3 generations of Morales' strength flowing through him. Tomorrow, he'd stop pretending to be weak. The next evening brought whispered conversations about special deliveries and Day of the Dead shipments. Alex moved between tables like a ghost, his trained ears catching fragments of the most damning evidence yet. Blackstone was coordinating with his Mexican cartel contact about hiding 50 kilograms of pure fentanyl inside traditional altar decorations, a deliberate desecration of sacred Mexican tradition. When Alex positioned himself closer to record clearly, Blackstone's head of security noticed him lingering. Chuck Morrison, a former Border Patrol agent with dead eyes and a perpetual sneer, cornered Alex near the kitchen. "Listen, Pancho," Morrison's voice carried the authority of someone who enjoyed intimidating brown faces. "I've got my eye on you. Your people are always looking for an angle, something to steal or sell. Mr. Blackstone's feeling generous keeping you employed, but don't push it." The threat hung between them like smoke. Morrison clearly relished his power over Latino workers, probably missed his days hunting families in the desert. Alex felt familiar rage building, the same fury that consumed him watching childhood friends become statistics in Blackstone's profit margins. He pressed his grandfather's pendant against his chest, remembering Miguel's voice across decades. "Patience, mijo. The strongest steel must be heated in the hottest fire before it can cut through anything." The memory cooled his blood, reminding him that survival required strategy, not emotion. Missing tonight's conversation meant losing 7 months of investigation. But confronting Morrison directly would blow his cover and let thousands more die from Blackstone's poison. Alex made a calculated decision. He'd use their xenophobia as camouflage. He approached Blackstone's table with exaggerated deference, deliberately mispronouncing English words and appearing confused by complex requests. The performance disgusted him internally, but allowed him to remain close enough to record crucial details about shipping routes, money transfers, and political protection. "See, Chuck?" Blackstone laughed, emboldened by Alex's apparent submission. "Train them properly and they stay in line. This one knows his place, cleaning up after his betters and staying grateful for the opportunity." His dinner companions chuckled uncomfortably, but their silence made them complicit. While Blackstone gloated about Mexican inferiority, Alex's recording device captured everything. Details about fentanyl production facilities in Michoacan, specific politicians being bribed to ignore shipments, distribution networks spanning 12 states. The racist dismissal actually enhanced the investigation. That night, Alex sat in his car outside Meridian, staring at his grandfather's pendant while tears blurred his vision. 7 months of swallowing poison, of being treated like property, of watching evil flourish while good people stayed silent. The psychological cost felt unbearable. He called his DEA partner, Agent Carmen Delgado. "I don't know how much longer I can take this, Carmen. It's eaten me alive." Her voice carried understanding born of shared struggle.
Your grandfather came to America to build something better for his families now, Alex. Miguel would understand the sacrifice. Alex found strength in her words, remembering a photo hidden in Miguel's pendant case. His grandfather shaking hands with Cesar Chavez during the farm worker strikes. Dignified resistance ran in his blood. Driving through Little Village, past murals honoring fallen community members, Alex made a vow. Tomorrow night, he'd gather the final evidence needed to destroy Blackstone's empire and honor every victim of America's opioid crisis.
The following evening brought Blackstone's most dangerous meeting yet: dinner with federal judge Helena Crawford and Congressman William Nash. Alex realized he wasn't just witnessing drug distribution, he was documenting the entire political ecosystem that enabled America's opioid genocide. Blackstone, drunk on power and premium whiskey, decided to educate his influential guests about managing the help. When Alex served the appetizers, the pharmaceutical billionaire launched into his ugliest performance yet. "This is why I only hire Mexicans for servant work," Blackstone declared, gesturing at Alex like he was livestock at auction. "They're naturally submissive and don't have the intelligence for anything requiring actual decision-making. It's simple biology. Their people never evolved beyond primitive agricultural societies." Judge Crawford shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. Congressman Nash actually chuckled, encouraging Blackstone's racist lecture. Their silence hit Alex harder than the words themselves. These were oath-sworn officials enabling systematic hatred for personal gain. When Blackstone accidentally knocked over his water glass and ordered Alex to clean yourself up like the mess you are, something inside Alex nearly shattered. He gripped his grandfather's pendant so tightly the silver edges cut into his palm, using physical pain to prevent emotional explosion. "Never let hatred make you stupid, mijo," Miguel's voice whispered across decades, steadying Alex's trembling hands as he knelt to clean Blackstone's manufactured mess. During his break, a voice called softly in Spanish, "Reconozco la fuerza disfrazada de debilidad." I recognize strength disguised as weakness. Isabella Restrepo, the restaurant's new sommelier, approached with careful steps. Her Colombian accent carried the weight of shared struggle. "My family fled violence in Bogotá. I know what it looks like when someone's fighting a bigger war. Whatever you're really doing here, you're not alone." Her words pierced through 7 months of isolation. Alex had forgotten what it felt like to be seen as human rather than furniture. "I have access to the private dining room conversations," Isabella continued, her voice barely audible. "And I know reservation schedules. More importantly," she paused, studying his face, "I lost my younger brother Luis to an overdose in Miami last year. Fentanyl. If you're fighting the people responsible, I want to help." That night's recording captured Judge Crawford discussing specific drug cases she dismissed for campaign contributions. Congressman Nash revealed upcoming pharmaceutical regulation votes he'd sabotage for the right price. The corruption web stretched far beyond Chicago. Later, Alex discovered a letter hidden in his grandfather's pendant case, one Miguel had written to his unborn grandson. "Alejandro, if you read this, I am gone, but my love remains. We came to America not to become less Mexican, but to show Americans what Mexicans can achieve. Fight with honor, win with grace." Isabella's alliance and Miguel's words rekindled something Alex thought he'd lost: hope. Tomorrow night, Blackstone would host his Dia de los Muertos celebration. It would be the perfect time to show him what Mexican honor looked like when it stopped hiding. Isabella's whispered revelation the next morning changed everything. Tomorrow's Day of the Dead celebration isn't just themed entertainment, it's Blackstone's farewell party. Alex felt his blood turn to ice. Farewell? Restaurant gossip says he's disappearing to Monaco after 8 years building his empire. 500 million in drug profits, and he walks away clean while families bury their children. The news hit Alex like a physical blow. If Blackstone vanished, his entire network remained intact. Judges, politicians, cartel connections, distribution chains. Thousands more would die while the architect of genocide enjoyed luxury exile. Alex had less than 24 hours to gather enough evidence to dismantle not just Blackstone's operation, but the political infrastructure protecting it. The realization terrified him because it meant abandoning 7 months of careful invisibility for active provocation. "I'm done hiding," Alex told Isabella as they planned in the storage room. "Tomorrow night, I'll trigger his racism deliberately, make him confess everything on record." Isabella's eyes widened. That's incredibly dangerous. If he suspects, he won't. Men like Blackstone can't imagine that someone they consider inferior could outsmart them. His arrogance is his weakness. Alex visited his abuela Rosa that afternoon, needing ancestral strength for the battle ahead. She performed a traditional limpia, cleansing him with copal incense while whispering prayers to San Miguel Arcangel. Her weathered hands pressed a small vial of holy water into his palm. "For protection during battle, mi nieto, your grandfather's spirit fights beside you." He told her about tomorrow's mission without revealing details. Rosa nodded with the wisdom of someone who had watched 3 generations of Morales' men fight for justice. "Miguel always said the hardest battles require showing your true face," she whispered. "Tomorrow, you stop being the hunted and become the hunter." That evening, Alex called his DEA partner Carmen Delgado. "Position teams around the restaurant tomorrow night. When I give the signal, we'll need immediate backup for multiple arrests." "You're sure about this approach, Alex? 7 months of cover blown in one night?" Alex touched his grandfather's pendant, feeling Miguel's presence stronger than ever. Sometimes being a good cop means taking risks that scare you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in spite of fear. Isabella revealed she'd been secretly photographing documents in Blackstone's private office, building her own case for her brother's death. "We're doing this together," she said, "for Luis, for your community, for everyone they've poisoned." Alex sewed his grandfather's pendant inside his uniform shirt, directly over his heart. For the first time in 7 months, he wouldn't hide his heritage. The medallion would be his armor, not his secret. Tomorrow, 3 generations of Morales' honor would demand justice, and Alex would show Blackstone what Mexican courage looked like when it stopped pretending to be weak. Blackstone's Dia de los Muertos celebration transformed Meridian into a grotesque carnival of cultural mockery. Fake sugar skulls made from crystallized fentanyl served as centerpieces, while Chicago's corrupt elite feasted among decorations that desecrated sacred Mexican traditions. The guests list read like a directory of American corruption. Judges, politicians, police commanders, and cartel representatives. Alex moved through the crowd serving cocktails with names like Dead Mexican and Border Crossing, while his hidden recording device captured every conversation. His grandfather's pendant pressed against his heart like a shield, warming with each racist joke and cruel laugh. "Perfect theme, right?" Blackstone boasted to his guests, gesturing at the mock altars. "Day of the Dead, exactly what my product creates. 50 kilograms of pure Mexican fentanyl arriving tonight, and we're celebrating with authentic Mexican, what do they call it, folklore." When Alex deliberately spilled a drink near Blackstone's chair, the pharmaceutical billionaire exploded with predictable fury. "You clumsy wetback, do you have any idea what this suit costs? Probably more than your entire family makes picking vegetables." Instead of the usual submission, Alex maintained steady eye contact. "I'm sorry, Mr. Blackstone. I was just trying to do my job properly." His refusal to cower visibly frustrated Blackstone, who had expected instant groveling. The billionaire's face reddened as he realized his authority was being quietly challenged by someone he considered racially inferior. "Listen here, boy," Blackstone snarled, standing to assert dominance. "Your people belong in kitchens and fields, not anywhere requiring actual thinking. It's simple biology. Mexicans are genetically suited for manual labor. When I look at you, I see someone whose ancestors never evolved beyond primitive agricultural societies." The restaurant fell silent. Even corrupt judges looked uncomfortable with the naked racism being displayed. But Alex had calculated this moment perfectly. Blackstone's arrogance would be his downfall. "Sir, you seem very knowledgeable about Mexican culture," Alex replied with dangerous calm. "Your business must give you extensive experience with my people's capabilities." The bait worked perfectly. Blackstone, drunk on power and premium alcohol, took it eagerly. "Damn right I know your people. Every product crossing that border goes through my networks. Every dealer in your neighborhood sells my merchandise. Your own families are my customers, and they don't even know they're buying from the man who despises their very existence." Alex's recording device captured every word, while his phone live-streamed to his DEA social media accounts. Judge Crawford tried desperately to change the subject, but Blackstone continued his racist confession. "The beauty is that Mexicans are destroying themselves with my products while making me richer than God." The admission connected Blackstone directly to international drug trafficking while revealing his genocidal motivation. Alex touched his grandfather's pendant, feeling Miguel's strength flowing through 3 generations of Morales' men who had fought for dignity and justice. The moment of ultimate revelation was at hand. Actually, Mr. Blackstone unbuttoned his uniform shirt and pulled out his grandfather's silver St. Michael pendant, letting it catch the light for all to see. The medallion gleamed like a beacon of justice as 3 generations of Morales' honor converged in a single moment. "Actually, Mr. Blackstone," Alex said, his voice carrying newfound authority that silenced the entire restaurant, "there's something you should know about this Mexican's capabilities." He stood tall, shedding 7 months of forced submission like a snake shedding skin. "Special Agent Alejandro Morales, Drug Enforcement Administration. And for the past 7 months, I've been documenting every word of your genocide while you treated me like furniture." Blackstone's face cycled through confusion, rage, and dawning horror. His wine glass slipped from nerveless fingers, shattering against the floor in a spray of red that looked disturbingly like blood. "You lying piece of—" Blackstone lunged forward in drunken fury, but Alex was ready. Years of federal training took over as he easily subdued the billionaire, pinning him against the table with professional precision. "Theodore Blackstone," Alex declared as he snapped handcuffs around the pharmaceutical mogul's wrists, "you're under arrest for conspiracy to distribute fentanyl, mass murder, money laundering, racketeering, and federal hate crimes." The restaurant erupted in chaos as DEA and FBI agents flooded through every entrance simultaneously. Agent Carmen Delgado led the charge, her badge gleaming under the crystal chandeliers as corrupt officials realized their recorded conversations had doomed them all. "Ladies and gentlemen," Carmen announced with grim satisfaction, "if you've participated in any illegal activities with Mr. Blackstone over the past 7 months, you have the right to remain silent. I strongly suggest you exercise that right." Alex held his grandfather's pendant high, speaking in both English and Spanish so everyone could understand. This belonged to Miguel Morales, who believed America would give his grandson the chance to fight for justice. Tonight, San Miguel Arcangel protected us in battle, and his faith was justified. Judge Crawford pleaded desperately. "This is entrapment. You can't use—" "No, Your Honor," Alex interrupted with ice-cold precision. "This is consequences. You enabled genocide for campaign contributions while swearing to uphold justice. History will remember your choice." Blackstone screamed as agents dragged him toward the exit. "You'll never convict me! I own half the justice system!" Carmen smiled with predatory satisfaction. "Actually, we've been recording your ownership for months. Operation Holy Grail just became Operation Clean Sweep, and your entire network is going down." Alex revealed his phone, showing the live stream that had broadcast everything to hundreds of thousands of viewers. Social media exploded, with hashtag racist pharma billionaire and hashtag Mexican agent justice trending nationally within minutes. Isabella emerged from the kitchen, carrying boxes of photographed documents from Blackstone's private office. "For my brother Luis," she told the handcuffed billionaire, "and for every family you poisoned with your hatred and greed." Standing among Chicago's arrested elite, Alex spoke directly to the live stream audience. "To every family destroyed by the opioid crisis, tonight we got the man responsible. To every Mexican American told they don't belong, tonight we proved them wrong. Justice has no borders, only heart." As sirens wailed and news crews gathered outside, Alex touched his grandfather's pendant one final time, feeling Miguel's spirit smile with pride. Within weeks, Alex's evidence triggered the largest pharmaceutical prosecution in American history. The recorded conversations that had cost him 7 months of dignity became the foundation for justice that would protect millions of future victims. Theodore Blackstone received life without parole for fentanyl distribution, resulting in over 3,000 documented deaths. Judge Helena Crawford was sentenced to 25 years for corruption and enabling genocide. Congressman William Nash got 20 years for accepting bribes to block addiction treatment legislation. Chuck Morrison, the racist security chief, received 15 years for conspiracy and civil rights violations. The investigation expanded internationally as Blackstone's files revealed a network spanning 12 countries. Mexican authorities arrested his cartel partners, while European banks froze accounts containing $800 million in blood money. Alex testified before Congress about pharmaceutical accountability, his grandfather's pendant visible on his chest as he spoke truth to power. Alex received the DEA Administrator's Award for exceptional service and promotion to supervisory special agent. More importantly, he was assigned to lead the newly created Border Justice Initiative, a task force ensuring his bilingual skills and cultural knowledge would protect communities on both sides of the border. Little Village transformed into a model for community police cooperation. Alex walked his childhood streets in uniform, no longer hiding his identity or heritage. Children who once feared federal agents now saw protectors, inspired by the local boy who proved that Mexican-American courage could change the world. Meridian Restaurant was seized as a criminal asset and donated to the National Museum of Mexican-American History. The dining room where Alex had endured months of racist abuse now displayed exhibits honoring Latino contributions to American law enforcement. Tour guides shared his story with visitors from around the world. Isabella completed her criminology degree and joined the DEA, becoming the first Colombian-American woman in the Chicago field office. Their relationship, forged in shared mission and cultural pride, blossomed into love built on mutual respect and common purpose. At Sunday dinner in Little Village, Abuela Rosa framed newspaper headlines about Alex's heroism alongside photos of Miguel and Ricardo Morales. 3 generations of service finally received the recognition they had always deserved. She touched Miguel's pendant case with reverence. "He would be so proud, mi nieto. You honored our family and proved that dreams have no borders."
The viral video of Blackstone's racist confession sparked nationwide conversations about hidden prejudice in corporate America. Congress passed the Morales Act, requiring pharmaceutical companies to undergo regular DEA oversight and creating harsher penalties for executives who profit from addiction. Alex's story became required study at federal law enforcement academies. His strategy of using criminals' prejudices against them revolutionized undercover operations, with agents across America adopting psychological techniques that turned hatred into evidence. Little Village renamed a street Miguel Morales Way in honor of the grandfather whose American dream had enabled his grandson's American victory. The bronze plaque read, "In memory of all who crossed borders seeking justice, not opportunity."
1 year later, Supervisory Special Agent Alejandro Morales stood before the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime in Vienna, addressing delegates from 50 nations. His grandfather's St. Michael pendant caught the assembly hall's light as he shared the story that had become legend in international law enforcement circles. "Ladies and gentlemen," Alex began, his voice carrying the authority earned through sacrifice. "Operation Holy Grail proved that justice speaks every language and honors every culture willing to fight for it. The Morales method of psychological manipulation and cultural authenticity had become standard training worldwide. Alex's techniques led to successful operations against cartels in Colombia, money launderers in Panama, and synthetic drug manufacturers in China. His Border Justice Initiative boasted a 94% success rate, the highest in federal law enforcement history. Northwestern University created the Miguel Morales Scholarship for Latino students pursuing criminal justice careers. At the annual awards ceremony, Alex shared his grandfather's story with the next generation of Hispanic officers, watching young faces light up with possibility and pride. Isabella, now his fiancée and partner in both work and life, had dismantled 3 major trafficking networks in her first year. Their engagement announcement at Little Village's Day of the Dead celebration, the same holiday Blackstone had once mocked, drew thousands of community members who saw their love as proof that justice and joy could coexist. President Biden presented Alex with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, calling him a reminder that American strength comes from every community, every culture, every family brave enough to fight for truth. The ceremony was broadcast in Spanish and English, reaching millions across the Americas who saw themselves reflected in his journey. Alex regularly visited the DEA Memorial Wall, where photos of agents killed in the line of duty now included his father Ricardo's paramedic portrait. Each Dia de los Muertos, he brought fresh marigolds to honor those who died protecting others, maintaining the Mexican tradition of remembering heroes who lived and died with honor. His young cousin Eduardo had enrolled in the DEA Academy, carrying a new St. Michael pendant blessed by the same priest who had blessed Miguel's in 1962. The family tradition of service continued, each generation building on the courage of those who came before. As sunset painted Chicago's skyline gold, Alex drove through Little Village, past murals celebrating Latino heroes, including one featuring his own face alongside Cesar Chavez and other champions of justice. The radio played Vicente Fernandez, the same music that had comforted him during his darkest undercover moments. He parked outside his grandfather's old grocery store, now a community center where children learned about their heritage and parents attended citizenship classes. A bronze statue of Miguel Morales stood in the small plaza, his hands extended in welcome to all who sought the American dream. Alex touched his grandfather's pendant one final time, feeling the warmth of 3 generations of love and sacrifice. He whispered the family motto that had sustained them through every battle. La justicia no conoce fronteras, solo conoce el corazón. Justice knows no borders, only heart.
In the distance, church bells chimed the hour, their sound carrying across a neighborhood where children played safely in streets once ravaged by the drugs Alex had helped destroy. The American dream lived on, protected by those brave enough to fight for it, one heart at a time.